I hope I'm saying that right. I've always wondered. Let's see. What can we do here? We can invite up to 10 people. Carl, how's it going? Spin them all. Oh, you snap. Let's go. I didn't even notice his Twitter profile, and he was in the audience.
Well, we
Feel
are,
free to come out and or come up and hang out if you want.
yeah, we got exciting things happening. The Optimism Bedrock update has started.
Oh, is it official? Has it officially started?
It started at noon here. It has officially begun. They tweeted it out a minute
Wow,
ago.
3 minutes ago, the genesis of the so-called super chain. Wow, how exciting. That is incredible. I actually need to stop what I'm doing and go to Optimism at Optimism FND and live follow this. That is so
It has
cool.
begun. It has begun.
Wow.
They have there's also a Notion that they have to track things as they're happening. Nothing's up there yet, but it is happening. It's rolling out.
That is so cool. Let me give this little retweet. Our our fellow builders over there at Optimism FND doing the good work here. Man, it's just every day you tune in and you see how much innovation and what's going on in the space, and then you see the kind of garbage this morning, like the SEC suing Coinbase and Binance, and it's just so frustrating. It's such an attack. It's like, come
We
on.
got we have back-to-back lawsuits now. We had Binance yesterday, we have Coinbase today, and did you see that there's 10 states suing Coinbase as well? This was coordinated.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Wait, let me guess states. Washington, Oregon, California, New York, a lot of the Northeast, and yeah, it's becoming a hyper-partisan issue, basically.
Your first three were smack on, if
Yeah,
I remember right. I saw
yeah.
Washington, California, I think was leading it. Alabama's one.
Alabama? Wow, that's
Alabama
surprising.
was one. No, it's you nailed like three of them there at the start, but then there were some outliers. Illinois, I think, was another one.
Okay,
I'd have to go and look at the list, but
wow. So
it's
we're in full on attack the whole space and all of its participants. This is the we've definitely reached the then they fight you portion, right?
yeah.
Man, this and we're it's fully going on. So and yeah, this is definitely coordinated. Binance yesterday, Coinbase today, right?
Yep.
And Gary Gensler even taking to his personal Twitter account,
Yeah.
to try and,
He's making the rounds, I think, as well on some of the major news networks,
right,
going
right,
about talking
right.
about this. So I mean, this was very coordinated here, and
Yeah,
it's rolling out. And
yeah,
the thing I find most ironic about it all is where does the U.S. government go to
right,
sell their Bitcoin and stuff that they've gotten through, like
right,
Silk Road takedown and stuff? Where do they go?
right.
They sell
Yep,
it on Coinbase. They
yep.
sell it on Coinbase.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's crazy. The hypocrisy. And it's interesting. Ryan Sean Adams from Bankless, of course. He said this morning, right? Gensler just filed charges against Coinbase. He's trying to kill crypto in the U.S. Who in Congress is going to rein in this rogue regulator? 1 in 10 Americans hold crypto. Um, and then he subtweeted at POTUS, the President of the United States, Joe Biden, this is your guy. Are you really going to let him cost you an election? And
Ooh,
it's interesting, right? I mean, yes, 1 in 10 Americans do own crypto, and I suspect personally that that number might be a little bit low. But when push comes to shove, right? Are these people, the folks that do own crypto, the Americans do own crypto, are they going to be willing to, really make this, an issue that can decide elections or something like that. I mean, most people do vote with their wallets, right? So it'll be interesting to see, but this is incredibly coordinated. The need and the time for non-nation and the non-nation tool stack has never been more clear and more apparent. And it's just everything is just timing itself out beautifully. I mean, it really is, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't have asked for better timing, right? Like, imagine, right? Like a year ago, we drop in the height of the bull market, or like, euphoria, and things are, it's just hard to get any attention. People have lost almost all sight of what decentralization means, or even caring about things like this. And now here we are a year later, and we're in a full-scale attack against
Yep.
crypto in the
Yep.
U.S. Government sanctioned, by this administration, by this handpicked people of the administration going after these kind of things, right? And I'm trying to keep politics out of it, everything like that. But this really gives us the context in the background to say, look what these decentralization tools provide, right? You have concerns about centralization, you have concerns about all of these things and these scams. Look at what the non-nation provides, right? You couldn't ask
Yeah.
for better timing, really.
Oh yeah, it's interesting to see how it's played out, and this latest attack had to have been planned a year ago or even more at
Right.
this point. But this
Yeah.
has been
Absolutely.
they saw where things happened, and I'm sure that the Terra Luna collapse got a lot of the regulators to really take another look, and they probably have been building the case ever since that death spiral. So
right. Yeah,
this is sort
these
of
things take a while to play out. To plan.
yeah.
You're absolutely right. It's been going on. This plan's been building for a while now. So
Yeah. Well, and we'll get more information on that this week as time goes by, and we'll be bringing an update to the podcast next week.
yeah.
For now, though, let's dive into a little AMA on what we talked about this last
Let's
week. It
do it.
was
Before we do that, real
optimism.
quick,
Yep.
real quick, let me just say hello to Non-Angel King, one of my buddies, and it looks like we got Non-Pixelated Cat as well.
I
Thanks you
see a lot
guys
of purple circles.
that's right, popularizing the purple circle. Now we just gotta get Carl to throw a purple circle in his name when he gets a chance. Just kidding, not to call you out, Carl. Any of you guys who are in the space, no pressure at all, but you're more than welcome to come up here and speak as well. So I can invite you all, and you're more than welcome to just come hang out and converse. And this is nothing formal. This is just time to hang out, and talk about current events and non-viral and things like that. So don't be shy,
Yeah.
basically.
And we also have topics on that we got posted in Discord and Telegram and some other places we can go over. But yeah, the main questions we got asked about are about the burn tax on the new non, how that's a little bit more about how that works. And we covered it quite a bit on the episode, but just to clarify a couple of points, the first thing is this only applies outside of the ecosystem. So because we have sort of full stack integration, we can whitelist things for the Bazaar. We can whitelist the contracts for your organization voting contracts. All of that gets whitelisted automatically within this token factory. So when you go and say, hey, I'm going to generate a new token, whether it's non or something else, you can automatically whitelist the addresses that are going to be used within the non-stack. So those are automatic, and there's an option to go ahead and whitelist other contracts if you would like. So maybe a token gets launched, and they're like, hey, we have this extra tool that's built on the non-stack, but outside of it, you guys don't know the exact contract address. We'll whitelist that so that you can use it without the burn tax going on.
Yep.
So it's meant to be automatically for everything within the ecosystem. It's all whitelisted. Outside the ecosystem, You can manually whitelist things. And really, this is going to affect our bots. This is going to affect MEV stuff. This is, I think the implications for holders are going to be very, very few and far between.
Yeah.
Will there occasionally be people who want to send, a couple hundred tokens between wallet addresses or something? They think they might have been hacked. Yes, that could happen.
Yeah.
Yes, they may lose. They may lose some in there. But if they're very large transactions, there's also other ways to do it. You can buy and sell from the bazaar, and eat fees on that.
Yep.
You could place orders within the bazaar. There will be ways around this to some degree.
Right.
It's not going to be entirely, no matter how you want to transfer, between wallets, you'll definitely have to just pay the burn tax.
Right.
There's ways that you can sort of side skirt that if you have very large amounts or very small amounts or something like that.
Right. Did I hear that there's going to be a sub DAO for this as well? So this may be, a holder controllable parameter, or no?
Yeah, I think that's what we're working on. We'll have details on that. We'll get those out once these token contracts are finalized here.
And we should know we have the new weekly series, the weekly non-briefing that's going to be dropping tomorrow. And just to say, I may be completely incorrect about this sub-dot thing. There was some talk about it, so don't hold me to that. I don't know if that's the case or not. But with the weekly non-briefing, we've actually done an in-depth conversation with Toshi regarding this. And so I think, man, we must have talked about that for about 35 minutes about all of this. And so that will be dropping tomorrow. And then the following day on Thursday, there will be an AMA with the team as well, where we will likely talk about this some more too. So lots of cool details and conversation regarding that coming up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. Let's see. So, who all do we have? Do we get any more people here? Samuel Oak.eth, welcome to the space. Thanks for joining. As we were giving Carl a hard time too, you're welcome to throw a purple circle in your name as well for Twitter if you'd like. And go ahead and raise your hand, anybody, if you'd like to come up and speak and take some time to hang out with us. Like I mentioned earlier, nothing formal, and we can talk about non-news. We can talk about parts of the protocol. We talk about whatever's going on in the space today. Just a general fun hangout. So don't be shy and come on up if you'd like to speak. Let's see here. What else did I see is going on today? So how much downtime is Bedrock going to take as well? Is that 3 or 6 hours? I can't remember.
I saw 2 to 4 is the latest.
2 to 4.
2 to 4. I'll refresh the pages. Nothing there.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah. It's just it's there was a really cool tweet that I think Non Corleone had sent out just about how cypherpunk Non is in the project, and man, it's just like days like today where there's a full frontal assault, right, coming from regulators and things like that. It's just it's really great to be reminded of that, and what's being built here, and why all of this is being built, and why it's such a comprehensive ecosystem and things like that, why it's such a game changer, right? It's not just another another a la carte service, or to sell to VCs, or pump token value, things like this. This is a project that we're really truly here to change the game and to change the world. And it's days like today that you really remember what we're all here and building for. So props to the team, props to Toshi and Vaza, and excited to see how this all plays out in the reception of the stack and things like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see.
Well, and with all the regulatory pressure, there's gonna come a time where people, need to look for, real utility in their decentralized solutions,
Yep.
and that's why we're here.
That's right.
That's what we're looking. That's what we've been looking for and building towards for years here. So
Right.
this is the place to uh, be looking at for the people who want to build, the real Web3, not the scams, not
Right.
the, you
Right.
know,
The Ponzi's
sketchy things.
that
Yeah,
Toshi's
I
always
mean,
calling out. Yep. Nothing
and the
to, yeah.
CEXs especially, because it's like I read a little bit of the Binance one, and one of the big accusations is against CZ.
Yeah.
Actually, they sued him separately,
I saw
and
that.
it's that they had commingled Binance funds with another fund that he owned, and then they bought a boat with that fund, and that's the sort of sketchy crypto stuff that is obscured when you're sort of behind a CEX like that.
Yeah.
Uh, those sort of things don't work on chain. You
No,
can
they
ignore
don't.
Tornado Cash a little bit, but
Right.
uh,
Right.
when things are transparent and you are interacting with DeFi protocols, you know where the money's in, you know where the money's out. You can track that.
Right.
We've seen that with like DeFi hacks. People, can uh, get a large payday, but they have a really hard time cashing out because it can be tracked so well. You can
Right.
see where that's going to go. So there's the transparency offered has a lot of upsides in mitigating some of the scammy nature.
Oh yeah.
It's where you mix. It's where you mix. Crypto. Something a little bit. It's unregulated for a good part. With the smoke screen of a CEX where they can everything's just in one wallet and they're trading on their own order book and stuff.
Right. Right.
Then you're
Yeah.
not leveraging the openness
Right.
that's provided by these technologies. So it's
Exactly.
where those
Yeah.
it's where you
What
get
else? What other reason would exist to be on a public blockchain, right?
right.
Yeah. If
It's where
not for
you
the
start mixing in
transparency.
those centralized points of failure that scammy stuff can happen. But in
Yeah.
real true DeFi, Uniswap and
Right.
Balancer and other places like that, where you're tracking everything, geez,
Yeah.
it's open and transparent for a reason.
Right. Humans are always going to human, no matter how, how, good their intentions are, things like this. And, this is why, you've been hearing Toshi say for over 3 years now, trust the math, right? This is why we're building, right? All of this decentralized, ultimate, powerful protocol based on math and not trust, right? So that you don't have to have trust, right? Just as the original vision of these systems was put in place. And that's kind of the thing. It's like, people are always like, when we're going to launch product fit, blah blah blah, things like that, right? And by the way, it's coming, very very soon. But it's important to understand that this non is going to set a new standard across the space, right? It's going to set a new standard across the space. When people are leveraging this protocol and this ecosystem and the trustlessness and the transparency and the true decentralization, things like that, it's not going to be so easy for people to go back to these centralized quasi faux decentralization scams and projects, and people to trust their money with it, right? I mean, it really is, when Toshi talks about it and he says it's going to be a game changer, right? And when we talk about it, it's going to be a game changer, right? So this is, we're here to literally flip the script, to change the game, and to, set a new standard in the space. It's nothing less than a revolution for the space.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna talk more about the transfer fee, the burn fee, and stuff on Wednesday. Here, we're gonna have another event. Ale's gonna come on,
Yep.
and we're gonna get to talk with Toshi some. and
Thursday,
get
right?
a we're going to get a non-briefing tomorrow,
Right.
and then an AMA on that on Thursday. So
Yep.
if your question doesn't get answered here today and you still have more, post it Discord on one of the Twitter threads, and we will be circling back around to some of those on Thursday as well, with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Toshi. So
Yep.
look forward to that. Mark that on your calendars.
Right. Non-Angel King. Non-nation equals nation. Non-viral equals viral. Non-disclosure agreement equals disclosure agreement. Tell us what you know. I like it. I like it, my friend. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Let's see. Do we have any other questions? We've got 7 or 8 more minutes to hang out in the AMA. 30-minute one to get started. As we progress and the marketing rolls out and we have more and more participants in the space, things like that, this will be a really cool weekly hangout and conversation, right? I mean, this is going to be a place for holders to come together and to bond and really talk about, different aspects of the project and how the rollout is going, things like that. So that's going to be really cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, this is just going to be a nice time to hang out, chat about what we already talk about some, on the podcast, and let other people throw in some of their discussion there.
Yep.
Let some other people, give a little bit of their thoughts even.
Yeah.
If you disagree with us on something here, come on up. Let us know.
Exactly.
We want to talk about it.
Oh, Toshi joined us in the audience. Nice.
Hey.
We'll invite him to hang out. No pressure, but if you want to come hang out, feel free. Let's see here. Do we have any other questions in the audience here?
Look around.
Hold on.
There was a little bit of one on Discord in the DGens. Somebody was asking about, are there other, legit projects that have a burn tax associated with their token? And none immediately come to mind. Jip, do you know of any off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head,
okay.
No.
Well, what I wanted to comment about that is, yeah, it's not common in these quote unquote legit projects right now, except to some degree, like Ethereum. If you want to transfer Ethereum,
Right.
You have to burn Ethereum to. So they're worked in, for the protocol level tokens, the blockchain level tokens,
right?
Native tokens. They're not worked into other projects except for the meme ones.
Right.
And in the meme ones, what they do is that they're very targeted to direct portions of trading revenue to the DAO to help them build, help them do stuff. And that funding model doesn't need to be exclusive to memes.
Mm-hmm. Really, because it's a very innovative model.
Fundamentally, what you're doing is you're saying the more we trade, the more the DAO can benefit and continue building, which is not, that and project growth don't have to be, opposites of each other. They can work in tandem, and they work for memes. So why can't they work, on a larger scale for something that's, quote unquote legit?
Right.
It's another means of revenue, and if you can, ride the back of just traders on this, well, then you can tone back things like inflation.
Right.
You don't have to, sell tokens exclusively to help fund yourself if you can just, ride the back of, high trading volume. So there's ways in there that they're just different means of trying to get this revenue.
Yep. And actually, Toshi, he's up here as well. He's got speaking things too. But everyone say hello to Toshi. What's up, Toshi?
Hey.
How's it going, man?
You hear me? first time in a space in my life.
Nice,
So
nice.
I'm learning how to use it.
Welcome. Cool for you to come and hang out. Thank you on our first AMA. That's awesome. A lot of exciting stuff.
First of all,
go ahead.
I want to add like a couple of things about this, because I read a lot of posts like from all of you guys on, especially on Telegram, like like about the burn tax. First of all, I want to say that the burn tax, when it will be released, it will be based on a sub DAO for sure, and it starts by 1%, but it can decrease and increases. And this will be very important for the whole economy, because like it will be like a powerful tool for like the entire DAO to actually manage the inflation,
right,
in different ways. And I think it's powerful in general. And I think that like before, like there was this question about there's some legit project in the space who use the burn tax. There is the legit of all, which is Ethereum
right,
actually.
Right.
That you can say, but Ethereum, like it uses it to reward stakers and to secure the network. Yes, which is exactly what Bitcoin don't do.
Right.
And so because like it's a different way to think about monetary strategy. Like, okay, you have infinite inflation, which means so you have more security, that will be like a security budget for like infinite amount of time, and you have this deflationary who basically like put like a more security stuff about so the price of this will probabilistically be more sustainable, and like people will be more rewarded like in time.
Right.
And I think it's a very interesting factor about this inflation and deflation, because it makes you like, for example, you as a holder of node, you have one security that your project will go forward and it will grow. This security is earnings.
Right.
Because like these earnings will make, like non-labs earn. And so you have the security that we will work for the project for the next years to come.
Right.
And we will work to grow and so on. Like every company you invest in your life. So if you invest in Apple stock, like the Apple revenue, they are like part of the security you have that, this project will go for the long run.
Right.
Okay. And also like you have this inflation and deflation, because the whole idea is to be one of the first assets on top of Ethereum. We have this, like new way of meaning of yield, which is like yield not based on inflation of something, but yield inflation of deflation of something. I see this theory, in mathematical theories, will be very, very important during the next bull run, and a lot of people will, try to research on this, and so I think there will be more and more projects with this thing. So it started with memes, real. But this doesn't mean that it's not a good idea.
Right. Exactly. And that's it's one of those levers, right? It's incredibly innovative, right? To be able to play with for the inflation and things like that. And I think you're absolutely right. It's a model that more and more projects will look at. As we move towards, self-sustainability for protocols, right? Which is extremely important. And we're seeing what's happened to all the protocols from the bull run, right? That didn't have self-sustainability mechanisms, right? Well, if there's no revenue, to pay, the devs to continue working things like this, well, people don't have the incentive to keep working. So I think you're absolutely right. That's my thought. What's your take, JPN?
Yeah, I mean, you need to have a revenue model that isn't just sell to a CX and have market makers, because
Right.
you have to either be very big for that to work. There's a lot of ways that goes sideways or very wrong for people.
Yep.
An inflation deflation mechanism, it works for Ethereum. It's a mechanism where you can create and sustain value. You can pay your security budget. You can pay for your protocol's overhead, while as long as you have sufficient deflation mechanisms to help offset the inflation, then you can reach a state of balance where you're self-funded, but you're also protected as well. Yep. And you're not inflating to infinite tokens, $0 per token, right? That's the ultimate end goal. That should be what all protocols are looking for. Ethereum, they found it, and if you look at Ultrasound Money, they have a graph for where Ethereum, what the supply looks like in 100 years or so, with given burn amounts, and there'll be changes before then, but it shows that you can reach a stable value where you are, emitting and burning at sort of an equal rate. And you want to get to a point where you can achieve that with your protocol, where it's paying for all the things you need it to pay for, but you're also not inflating to infinity. So that should be the end goal for all protocols. Yep. And just having a static supply doesn't get you there, because even if you're selling tokens, you eventually run out.
Right.
You need to have the ability to mint new tokens, to mint and create value, to fund yourself. And the only way to keep, you going to infinite supply is to have those burn mechanisms as well. And that is where we're going for here.
Yeah.
Also, just to add, if you think about from the inflation of known, still now, and also in the future, all of this money, they go for the investment fund, which is designed to create more revenues in the long run. They go to dividends.
Yep.
And they go to grants for delegation, so people who act to grow the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
And also revenues from the protocol, which now obviously in beta it's closed, so there's not too much revenues, but after the release everything is designed to make a lot of revenues. And I want to say that this maybe it's look rare and pretty much uncommon in crypto space, but you have to keep in mind that the crypto space is designed about DAOs, where you are voting in some ways, but there is some host of the funds, which are the signature.
Right.
And so all of the DAOs, they are designed to not earn money, to not create real economies in such sense, because there is a taxable event, and because it's a problem because you have someone who votes.
Right.
And we have built all of these systems since the beginning to make projects that have the same responsibility between this money, because you're not the host, because the money are into the system, like Uniswap with the money you have a liquidity pool.
Right.
And this changed the game, because now finally protocols, they can be for profit for their users and for profit for their economy. So that's why we have this specific different way to approach the economy, to approach the token inflation and deflation, because for now we are pretty much unique in this, and we think that this is the future, because it's more sustainable for everything. It's not making Ponzi, but it's making real protocol who is the same we had into the web page since the beginning of Biddle, real equities of a protocol where money and it's work exactly as equities without man in the middle. And that will be the final version of everything.
Right. Yep. That's what we're here for, is to create real value, right? Real economy, real equity, right? So this is I couldn't agree more. This is innovation, in my opinion, for projects, and this will be a model that will be quickly adopted, in my opinion, because as creating real value makes a project sustainable. When the project is sustainable and they have funds and revenue to carry out their work, then you see real innovation. And these mechanisms are designed to capture and retain value in an ecosystem, and not to just let the value be vampires sucked out, things like this, which is you see how many ghost town protocols these days, right? So yeah, I couldn't agree more. Oh, we've got some more. We've got Ankush. Welcome. Hello. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Toshi.
I want to say, there is someone of you who want to join to ask questions directly to us or something?
Yeah. Everybody, come on up. Feel free to. I'll invite everybody to speak. Whoever would like to come up and speak, just come hang out. No pressure. Oh, Macy's here. Hey, Macy.
Oh, and by the way, I want to give you a hint about the next article, just we have some time.
Oh yeah.
Which will be very, very based on the importance of the structure in economics and in governance, and the industry, and what our vision for the next year to come of the industry. So it will be a very, very cool article this Friday.
Yep. Nice. Toshi dropping some alpha as usual. Love it. Thank you.
I already dropped like the one that the next wave of like protocols and stuff, they will earn money and it will be real equity of a protocol.
Yeah.
Like for example in economic terms.
Yeah. This is going to be fun, man. I mean, the holders and people who are going to be joining the community. I mean, these AMAs that we're doing weekly, it's going to be a lot of fun for people to come up here and hang out and ask questions. And once people have an understanding of what non really is and how powerful, right? It's it's going to be really cool. So it's always a fun time to hang out with you, Toshi, and talk about the protocol and stuff like that. And I'm glad we're getting a chance to do it a lot more frequently.
Oh, by the way, I see Missy is already here. So Missy, you asked me a question like in DM that I wasn't able to reply because it was like in these days it's kind of like crazy for me, like my schedule. So if it's possible, if you want to ask here, it will be very cool to share to everyone, I think, and I will be very, very happy to reply on it.
Oh, hey guys, exactly. That's why I was trying to ask that maybe you would like to give the answer here in public.
Nice.
So yesterday, when Ale was probably sleeping, I did write to him a whole like a list of points around one topic, and this topic is delegations model. So me as a delegation host, like I think that I have some background, and I can, while talking with Max, which is also a delegation host, after like more than 1 year, I think that I have a cool idea, but I just want to propose this to Al and all you guys, because I'm not the smartest here, so I will probably learn from your answer. So the question is, maybe we know that there will be some new form of delegations, but we don't know what exactly will be changed. So I asked Ale, what if we could delete the aspect of having of wrapping the non-tokens into the delegation tokens, and what if we could create a one pool of token which is non-token, so the inflation is is putting the non-token into the treasury, which is a global, which is like a one treasury for all delegations, and all delegations can create a proposal, which would be, the logic of the proposal would be sell X amount of non-tokens for the proposal, which is this and that, to give us y amount of ETH. Or second mechanism, just like transfer the X amount of non-tokens due to some proposals. So this option would change a lot. So the most important thing is that would make the selling pressure to be gone until there's the need to get the funds. So right now I'm getting the funds, me, Max, or other delegations, which are not really ready to spend them. So we are not really need that to be selling the non-tokens into the market to get the funds. So here with the new system, if we would be ready to have some good proposal, we could proposals to all non-holders and not just our stakers, and the whole community could have the proposal and the decision to maybe fund some delegation with the money or with the token. And this also would open the dialogue with taxes and with and venture capitals, because mostly they are asking for a significant big amount of the token to be a part to then build the value of the token. So here we would have the liquidity to fund such
to dump in face of the users. But
this is like the risk of it. So the risk of it is that someone will be a bad actor, but but the community is then deciding that now we don't want to have such a proposals, but the difference is that with our current system, we are selling the non-token due to the fair inflation, which is, I think, the best way to sell it in the less impactful way, and but it's selling, So here with the new system, this would make the non-token to be not sold. So so we still in the most like selling way, we could sell as much as we are right now. So it's not like a difference in terms of selling pressure.
But this will make us I will stop you for a second. Sorry, Messi. I don't want to be rude, but
to be honest,
so first of all, this will make us So first of all, this will make us, for example, as a team, as some other team, as a huge market maker, because in this specific system, like my job as a CEO is to dump the token in face of other when I create hype and when I create, like moment when it's like low. So my job is to create hype and dump in face of people like in this, because I have to pay expenses, for example. Right. So second, this like actually put me in a position that I want to be. Second, another thing is that, you can buy OS with the Ethereum that arrived to you, by the way, into the delegation still now. It's not. So, for example, like now you can create like a proposal to buy OS with to buy OS, to buy known with the money you arrive. Yeah. I think that because like the problem of the delegation system, I think, it's this that this first version, like into the beta, was a very, very trial version, and like we cover like very, very like the peak of the iceberg of what we are kind of like doing, so first of all, like I think that I strongly believe that, for example, like the funds for like, I cannot say, like in economic terms, I think that like, for example, the fixed inflation is way more like fairer in any way than like holding every kind of token, because like in any way possible that we hold tokens, we became by design like the enemy of the other users, because like in finance, like it's like one of the principles, like someone earn because someone lose, and so it will be like a very pretty much like difficult scenarios about, like selling in the face of people, like when, so I don't think it's. And the current system is it's a beta, obviously, so it's not like it will be totally different, like in the way that, for example, like delegation reach funds, because like, and also like the way that delegation can use the funds, because like in the new system you have a lot of function that you can use, like for example, like you can manage for example, like different all of the bazaar features. You can farm, you can put into liquidity, you can create a range of you can create orders, you can do pretty much everything that is possibly do with these tokens. And but I think that the most big problem with the delegation system is the incentive at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I see very few participation in the delegation system, and this is like pretty much like the first thing to solve. And I strongly believe that, for example, like delegations, like for example, like delegation tokens, why they are important? Because like for example, if I sustain you with my known, I don't want that you touch my known in any way possible, because like these are staked for to help you to reach funds. They're not like the money that you can manage, for example.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's like you became the FTX of my known. So that's why I don't understand the system in general, and why I interrupted you very quickly.
Yeah, so here I know that I'm not the big brain here, so I don't want to be understood that I think that I'm right. So that the concept I did propose was just like idea which I want to like brainstorm, and if I have the feedback that not really, I fully respect it. So I'm not like
makes sense, and that's what these discussions and hangouts are for, and so we all get understand. I think discussion is great. So I see both sides. I definitely agree with Toshi. As far we've seen so many projects that have to dump in their holders' face things like this. The chain link Sergey, he constantly does that to his holders, things like that.
Yeah, and
so,
I mean, with inflation, it basically prevents the team from having to be a market maker or hire a market maker here, because it's automated, it's done in the background, and it's done transparently, which is it removes that conflict of interest from, we want to pump the token so that we can sell a bunch in everyone's face because we need money. It's like this prevents that. It's like, no, we're just selling this small amount every day. That's how we're funding. Everyone knows about it. It's very predictable. And you don't have to be like, well, yeah, we'll just dump 5% of the supply because we need to pay bills this month. That doesn't happen. It's an open, transparent way of doing it. And I appreciate the idea of we don't need the funds quite yet. Can we delay this? Can we delay the selling for it? Help reduce that sell pressure. I think that's a good idea. But yeah, having proposals need to start with a sell of the tokens, and token holders get to vote, is a conflict of interest as well, because token holders want price up, and passing the proposal would mean price down. So
they would never pass proposals, basically.
I feel like proposals would have to basically say, hey, we are going to look for like a 5x investment on this one particular thing. It would turn any proposal into, this needs to be an investment. It would need to pump the price of the token for it to ever pass. That would be the only focus. There, education and some of the other stuff, if you couldn't have a very good proof that it would pump price, would be highly unlikely to pass, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Good discussion. I want to welcome welcome Be Smart real quick from the audience.
but my question, just to understand it like well. So, for example, like now in the current system, like I think, for example, that I don't know, X delegation is doing a pretty good job, and so like I just like stake my non to support this.
Yeah.
Okay. But my non, they are untouchable. So my non are there. I can withdraw whenever I want, and so on. In this specific scenario, like I'm not staking my non. I just like donating my non, kind of, as much as I understood.
Okay, okay, I can answer. So here, I'm sorry that maybe I'm lacking the skill to tell it better. So here is it's not about the team and the core, the founding. So here the routine about the core team and the routine that's not we're not touching it. So we are just touching the concept of only delegations. So here they will not be having automatically every quarter the if grounds due to the percentage of the votes, but here they would be just sitting without the votes at all, no votes for delegations in that stage, but we would be getting every month or every day with fair inflation, let's say 10 non-tokens are going to the one pool of non-tokens on which are growing every month, every day. So let's imagine we are having 10K non-tokens there. And then some delegation, let's say non-viral, is telling, hey guys, we want to start this and this proposal, and it would be great. We want 2 ETH for that. So this would mean that we want to sell 1K of non-tokens from this pool and get 2 ETH. And that's and then every non-token holder is voting yes, no with the tokens, but the tokens are coming from the liquidity, which are coming from the inflation, but it's not fair inflation which is selling, but which is putting in a liquidity, one liquidity treasury of let's 10K non 20K, and then so the selling point is when the proposal is passed. So as John said, this would create a conflict from the holders. And the question is if the holders and the majority of votes would be having a correct opinion that this proposal is long-term or short-term, will bring the value or it will not. So the risk is that the people voting, the majority will be having a false opinion, and the proposals, the good proposal will not pass it, and the bad one will get this.
Yeah, but let me show an example. So I strongly believe that the problem of DAOs is that there is whales. Okay. So it's not like holder, it's about whales. And I strongly believe that when we design like a system, we take into account that people don't have good behaviors. People are just in DAOs and things to make more money. That's it. Like like most of the holders, the whales and so on, they don't have visions. Okay. Because like now we are a small community, but it's part of the journey. It's not the whole journey.
Yep.
And so like right now with the system of delegations, like worst case scenario, like a delegation can just like I don't know, spend Ethereum in a not bad way, not good way, which okay, this problem will be solved by 2 or 3 like mathematical theories we are integrated into the new stuff. But in this specific case, a whale can basically like dump all of it on there and just put for itself or something, if you think about it.
Yeah. So
like
100% you're right. Yes.
One problem that is now into the delegation system, for example, is that there is this system that like let you have money just in a specific moment of time. It's not like a gradual thing, okay? Which will be replaced, like for example, in a new version, which will be like farming. So based on every like block, you earn a portion of the Ethereum based on how much supporter like delegation have, for example. And like right now, like it's risky that there is some holder who say, oh, okay, so I will just create my own delegation. I will use this,
right.
for my own interest, for example. And so yeah, so in the current version there is this risk, and I think that right now the risk is just mitigated on his amount of none. In this specific thing, the risk is based on the entire treasury. Like, this is also like the classic that other DAOs have, for example, and this is why, like, for example, if tomorrow, like, 3 or 3 big holders in, I don't know, some DAO here and there, I don't want to say the name, they decide, I don't know, let's dump everything, they can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
basically the way the system is set up is to protect the minority holder, right, Toshi? I mean, to protect rights.
Yeah, like our main goal is to find like new mathematical way to manage funds which are not democratic, are like post-democratic.
Right.
So like where technology and minutes, they try to solve the how is, I don't find the word, sorry, even Italian, the corruption of humans. Like, for example, let me get you an example. Like, if you think about like a treasury split, if you think about the different choice that people have, they are choices, but they are like limited in a way that whenever happen, people can't rug pull, people can't like destroy the economy. They can just like made some mistakes,
right?
And the end goal of this is to find like the way that okay, so like the human interaction is this, but in a perfect economic system where broad scale scenario, biggest whale scenario, the economy is not broken, it's just limited for a bunch of time.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, guys. That
good example.
My concept would be making the delegation grants liquidity to be more concentrated, and this would make the worst case scenario be worse than the current system, which is there's no such a big risk. There's no one sell order which can dump half of the price and make people go crazy. So I agree.
And also, I want to underline to everyone that, so for example, like when people talk about in Telegram about, but we don't vote about this, taxation and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's real, but because like when we make an update of the protocol, like the new version, we are acting like Uniswap. So imagine that like this non-beta is like a version, okay, and you can realistically like using it for like the next years to come, even without us.
Right.
Because like even if we closed by the interface, like the creation of organization, is kind of things, like someone can build just an interface to work for it.
Right.
And so like when we will create the new version, as always, as we did also like from DFL Hub to the non-beta, like you have the choose. You have the choice to follow us or to say, oh, we don't like this. So we remain into the old system and we will let this grow.
Right.
And so it's you're not forced in general to do this. I think it's kind of like the most fair possible thing like that can be happen. So for example, if you don't like even the non-beta, like right now, people can create a community and going forward with the DFL Hub ecosystem, for example.
Yep. It is a living organism.
So I think
people can build on it.
Most people agree with you, and we understand that. But just the voices in the Telegram, there's like people are angry about price action, so it's a way to just demonstrate the emotions. So But if we would ask them seriously, they would say that they, to be honest, they understand that your approach is not bad.
I think that all of us as a community should think about this because, for example, like we are starting to do marketing and this kind of thing like from now. Okay, obviously, it was funny yesterday on Telegram. I mean, Rome is not built in one day. Okay, so obviously, like we are starting
Yeah.
with all of the things, and and we are like organizing all of the teams for this, and all of the relationships and so on. What we are doing, I think, a pretty good job into the background, and it will be very fun. And like for example, um, in we knew that this research was long. And so, like, for example, the system of delegation, when was built with the idea that, okay, we are not investing in marketing, anything related to the token or whenever in this moment, because we prefer to preserve the money for research and development to be able to, having as much as fund as possible, like near when we are ready to launch it.
Yep.
And at the same time, like, for example, like, okay, if you think about token price perspective, like, okay, we didn't do like a very great job, but I think also the community, like, they had the opportunity to to try to grow the ecosystem, even if we didn't do it, and there will be like a lot of Ethereum who came to different delegation and stuff, and so I think that right now, don't worry, the team is here, and we will do marketing, and so everything cool, but. I think it's interesting to see this kind of situation in general. So about that, I mean, I I I don't want to say thing, but I expected like a bit of more activity by the community in such sense in general. But it's okay. What we're building is very difficult, and so.
Yep.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Well, I think what's been highlighted more today than anything is we need to do more of these. And we have
twice a week. Absolutely.
We have plans to. Yep. Plans are going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays AMAs. Tuesdays are going to be for the non-viral and the podcast. Thursdays are going to be going over mostly what we cover in the weekly non-briefing, which you can catch tomorrow. It'll be out on YouTube. We'll have tweets about it. It'll be discussed in the Discord. We'll wrap up there for the day. Make sure you continue to follow us for all the latest updates on the non-nation. And we will catch you again here soon.
Sounds good. And thank you, Toshi, for joining. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Look forward to seeing you guys here weekly. We'll be here week in and week out. Thanks, everyone.
Oh, there is like two questions we didn't get. So one is what exactly are capable of the ERC20 candies? Okay, so this question about
Thursday.
For Thursday, I will reply on Thursday for sure. And so if it's possible, a non-citizen to copy and paste this question for Thursday. And also, no, I don't think.
I'll hold on to that one too, so we have it for Thursday.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. I thought there was one other one too. Oh, okay. There's one from Angel King. Are you abandoning the item standard entirely, or will it still be available as a factory if someone else wants to use it? Because I think there would have been some interesting use cases for it. So we'll definitely cover that on Thursday as well. And then I think we have plans to cover some of the reasoning and logic of that in an article coming up as well. So we've got two very interesting questions to kick off Thursday's discussion with. So as always, Tuesdays will be JPN and myself in the non-viral weekly AMA hangout, and then Thursday will be with the team and with Ale and cool guests and things like that. So lots of good opportunities to discuss these kind of things because this is really cool to talk about the ins and outs of the protocols and the reasoning and the logic behind it all, so that people understand the system and the way that it works. So if you guys haven't figured it out yet, the whole concept of non is building and retaining value in the ecosystem. This is not a short-term thing, right? So these are all flywheels to retain value. So cool. All right. Well, I think we're going to leave it there. Thank you, co-host JPN, and other co-host for today, Toshi, for joining. Very cool. And we will see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah. So see you also like tomorrow that there is like the team event.
Yep.
It will be very, very cool. And on Tuesday, the AMA from the team event.
Perfect.
So guys, have a great day/night apps for your time zone, and see you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.